Have you ever heard someone say free gift and had that little moment of, wait a second, aren't all gifts supposed to be free? Well, if you have, you've actually stumbled upon a fascinating hidden pattern in our language. Today, we're going to give that pattern a name and uncover its surprising power. So let's start by tuning our ears to this specific little echo, this repetition that happens all the time in our everyday speech. I promise, once you hear it, you're going to start noticing it everywhere. All right, let's kick things off with a little puzzle. Take a look at these phrases. Think about it for a second. What's the one single thread that connects all of them?
Okay, we've got free gift, true fact, end result. See where this is going yet? How about each and every, never ever, or one of my favorites, return back? In every single one of the words is basically just a repeat of the other. I mean, a gift is, by its very nature, free. A fact is, by definition, true.
And there you have it. That's the secret. They all say the exact same thing twice, just using different words. This little verbal habit has a name: tautology. It's essentially the art of saying the same thing twice. So we've named the beast tautology. But what's really going on here? Let's break down what this concept is all about. At its core, it's just expressing the same idea twice with different words. Now, it might seem a little unnecessary, right? But as we're about to see, that repetition can be used for some really specific effects, like adding emphasis or even giving language a kind of rhythm. So here's the most crucial thing to remember. Tautology isn't about adding any new information. Not at all. It's all about strengthening what's already been said. Think of it like a verbal highlighter, you know? It's just underlining a key idea for your listener. All right, now for the fun part. I'm going to give you a little toolkit so you can become an expert at spotting tautology out there in the wild. Here are 4 super simple tests you can use. First, the meaning check. Just ask yourself, do these words basically mean the same thing? Second, the removal test. If you take one of the words away, does the core meaning actually change? With free gift, if you remove free, you just have gift. The meaning is identical. That's a classic sign. Third, the synonym test. Are the words right next to each other just synonyms? And finally, the double up test. Is the phrase just saying the same exact point twice, like in each and every? It's a simple checklist, but trust me, it's really effective. Okay, so up to this point, we've kind of treated tautology as a common quirk, maybe even a little mistake. But what happens when this so-called mistake is actually done on purpose? Well, in the right hands, it can go from being an error to an absolute masterpiece. And this is the fascinating twist, isn't it? Something that might be considered redundant in an email or a business report gets completely transformed in poetry. It becomes a deliberate, artistic choice to create emotion, atmosphere, and even a certain musicality. Let's look at this line. She wept tears of sorrow. Now, logically, this is totally redundant. Weeping involves tears, and in this situation, they're obviously tears of sorrow. So why on earth would a poet write it this way? Because saying it like this does something totally different. The repetition slows us down. It forces us to linger on that feeling. It just intensifies the emotion. We don't just process the fact that she's crying. The tautology makes us feel the full weight of that sorrow. And here's another fantastic example. The lonely, deserted streets stood empty. You can really feel that, can't you? Notice that layering: lonely, deserted, empty. A writer could have just used one of them. So why use all 3? It's because those overlapping meanings all work together to do more than just state a fact. The poet isn't just telling us the street is empty, they're creating this powerful, inescapable feeling of total desolation. The tautology builds an atmosphere that you can't shake. And check out this beautiful, simple example of using tautology for visual emphasis: a round circle of silver light. Of course, a circle is round. We all know that. But by adding the word round, the writer reinforces the idea of a perfect, pure shape. It's a simple trick that makes the image that much sharper and more vivid in our imagination. So it's really clear that in literature, this kind of repetition isn't a mistake at all. It's a deliberate technique with a seriously powerful purpose. So when we boiled it all down, poets are using this repetition very deliberately. It's about intensifying an emotion, adding a certain rhythm or musical quality to their lines, and creating a sense of undeniable fullness. It's an incredible way to show, not just tell, the depth of a feeling or an image.
And that's really the ultimate takeaway here. Tautology is a tool of transformation. It takes what could be a simple, flat statement and turns it into something rich with emotion, rhythm, and layers of meaning.
So the next time you hear a true fact or you read about a round circle in a poem, you'll be in on the secret. You'll know it's not just a mistake, it's a hidden echo. The question is, now that you're listening for it, what echoes are you going to start to hear?